Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I am super excited that you are here with me today. As always, this is the look that we are going to be doing today. It is a little bit more than I normally do, but something that definitely looks good, photographs beautifully. Definitely give it a go. I'll be more than happy if you're going to subscribe to my channel, push that ring bell button so you would know whenever I post my new videos. And if you're still interested and you do have a little bit of free time on your hands, please keep on watching. I wanted to mention a couple of things. I filled in my eyebrows already. I used the Kat Von D Signature Brow Pencil in the color light brown. Love this product. I also have a little bit of tinted moisturizer on my face, but that's it. I will be using some foundation and concealer, but we'll get to that. So let me start. Let me walk you through the process. It would be much easier for me if you could ask me questions and I would answer them along the way. But if you will have them, please leave me a comment below. I always tend to do a tiny little wink with my pencil before I start, just to give a rough shape of where I'm going. I'm just gonna pop some pencil in between my top eyelashes, just to give my eyes some depth. Imagine a line going from the bottom up. So it's kind of like you are extending the bottom of your eye, you see? And then try to connect it I'm gonna use a pencil brush and I'm just gonna slightly blend this line so I wouldn't have a wing. I will have just a rough shape of where I want to go with my pencil. So now we have a rough shape of where we want to go and what we want to do. So you can instantly see the difference in my eye. So this eye looks more round and kind of like, I look like a fish with those round eyes, but this is more elongated. And remember, this is just the rough shape. We are going to go over with our eyeshadows. We're going to blend it, but this is something just to give us the rough idea, to make sure that our eyes are even and just to give us the idea of the shape that we are going for. So for the second eye, we're going to do the same thing. I'm just gonna imagine a line going from my bottom eyelash line going up like this, and then I'm gonna connect it with my top lashes. Same thing with the same pencil brush. I'm just gonna very lightly soften those edges and create a shape for my eye that I want to have. Don't worry if it's not perfect, because we can always clean it a little bit, either with our finger, or if you do have a Q-tip on hand, you can always clean up underneath a little bit, make sure that the edges are not going too far, but don't worry about it too much. With whatever is left on your brush, just make sure to put a little bit of this product to your bottom lash line, just to make sure that everything connected and you wouldn't have this little weird white gap in between. Just try to stay in place. Don't drag it all over, because you are going to cover your eyelid and we don't want that. We still want to keep our eyelids lighter color. The palette for today is Tarte Tartelette palette. All the colors are matte. So I will be using this Free Spirit color, this lighter shade right here. And I'm going to be applying it all over my eyelid. I am not going to go over the pencil that I applied earlier. I'm just going to cover my lid with it. I'm going to get this grayish power player color with the same brush, just a little bit. So I'm going to put this color inside my crease here. I'm not going all the way, just halfway through. Same for the other eye. And what this color does, it just creates this transition. It doesn't add a lot of color. It just gives me a little bit of depth, just to make an illusion of a bigger eye. Because my eyes are not that big, and I definitely don't want them super dark because they are going to look smaller at the end. But what I do want to achieve, I want to have them bigger, wider, and more open, with the idea of a cat eye-ish look, if that makes sense. With the same color, I'm just going to go right inside the corner here. And the other eye right here, And again, with whatever is left on my brush, I'm just going to blend the bottom where our pencil went. So we're going to set it and we're going to blend it at the same time. In case you're curious what the brush is, MAC 217, a really good brush to have. So if you don't have any cool brushes to use or something really easy to blend with, MAC 217 is a very good brush to have. For the next step, I would recommend using either angled brush, a tiny little brush like this, or a pencil brush. Always nice to have them, always nice to work with any of those. If you want to be more precise, I'd recommend using an angled brush. Oh well. So I am going to be taking the darkest color in the palette, which is called Fashionista. It is almost black, but it is a dark brown color. I'm gonna use my angled brush. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna mimic the line where my pencil originally went. I'm just gonna press this darker color. It is gonna look a little bit like a liquid eyeliner. I am not blending it yet. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to have more depth and color. If you are in the mood of a liner type of look, you can leave it as is. Because I'm not, I am gonna blend it out. Again, lightly, because we're not getting rid of the color, we're just blending it so it would be absolutely seamless. And the closer it is to your eyelashes, the more eyelashes it would look like you are having, right? So try to stay as close as you can to your eyelashes and blend it. So again, with whatever is left, I am just applying a tiny bit on my bottom lash line and just a little bit of color right there. I am taking my transitional color back again with a pencil brush, which is called Power Player. And wherever I blend it, I'm just gonna go over with that color to create even smoother blend and even more gradient color. And always remember not to go super high if you don't have that much lid space, just to keep that light shadowed where we applied it. Again, bottom, never forget about the bottom, just to tie everything up. Another cool trick you want to do if you feel like this is good and this is perfect, but I want my eyes to be even more elongated, grab an angle brush and just extend this part of your eye so it would be more feline looking. I'll show you what I do. Do you see the difference? You just have to extend the tear duct area. Just a little bit, you see? Same thing with another eye. I am pretty much done with my eyes. What I am going to do, I'm going to curl them. I'm going to apply mascara and then we're going to might add a little bit of falsies in. We'll see. Just curl your eyelashes. If you tend to skip the step with this look, it's better to do it. Just to give this extra dimension and extra curve to your eyelashes. So my trusty MAC mascara never disappoints. Bottom. Mascara puts everything together. So it is going to be a very easy but dramatic makeup look. Something that I haven't showed before, but I know that all of us, time to time, want to add some drama to our lives. So let it be makeup. Bottom lashes as well. Lashes are on, full, clumpy. Exactly what we need for this look. I felt that it was a little bit too much, so I just cleaned up a little bit. For the foundation today, we are using Dior Backstage foundation. The color I am using is 2W. It is a matte foundation, but it is beautiful. It's blendable. I like it a lot, but just make sure if you do have dry skin, you either have to moisturize really well, or go for something with a lighter coverage and not as drying. But it is a beautiful foundation though. It stays on. It's buildable. The coverage is great. I would definitely recommend it. But again, if you do have dry skin, either moisturize or go for something a little bit lighter, or you can actually dilute it with your moisturizer a little bit, so it wouldn't be that drying, if you, especially if you have those dry patches. I am using a flat brush from Makeup Forever. If you are more comfortable with a beauty blender, please do use that, or a blending brush. You know, depends what you are more comfortable using. For my concealer, I am using my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. It's something that I've been using a lot. Really love this product. Definitely recommend. If you are on the hunt for a really good concealer, definitely try this one. With a blending brush or a sponge or whatever you are using, just blend any imperfections that you have found and decided to conceal. So I normally apply it a little bit around my nostrils, where I tend to get red, in between my eyebrows, and my eyes, of course, because we want to get rid of those under eye bags, discoloration, anything that might bother us. I'm not applying more product. I'm just trying to evenly blend whatever I have. Always keep in mind to conceal these corners right here. This is exactly where we tend to get bluish, those bluish corners right there. Okay, I don't go all the way up to my lashes just because I don't want my concealer to crease, and I like that natural shadow that appears. So with whatever is left on our brush, make sure to clean up and make your eye a little bit sharper. And just blend it nicely. I'm gonna apply a little bit on top of my nose, the bridge of my nose. I don't go super heavy. I'm not gonna bake or do anything crazy, but you have to keep in mind, so whatever your eyes are that heavy, you do need this extra coverage, because otherwise you're going to be looking at yourself in the mirror and you're going to be looking, you know what, there's something off. Like, I don't like it. I personally don't like to have this full-on, full coverage face, but I do like to have more product in the center of my face, and then I try to blend it outwards. So I would have coverage, but not as much as a, you know, full-on mask. And if you would apply a lighter product in the center of your face, it would appear closer, and it would definitely photograph beautiful. For the powder, I am gonna set my under eyes with my trusty Laura Mercier translucent loose setting powder. Make sure that nothing has creased, because we did apply quite a bit of product here. So we're just gonna set our eyes, brow bone, because I tend to get a little bit of mascara transfer over there. I will set the rest of my face with the same product, the center of my face. I like to use smaller brushes for my powder, just because it gives me more control and I am not going to end up with that mask looking face. Even though I tend to get super oily in my T-zone, we know that this glass looking skin is very in right now, but I still have to powder, otherwise I'm gonna look very oily. Definitely not pretty. I am gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow, and I'm just gonna get a little bit, I'll give myself a little bit of a higher cheekbone. It is a very beautiful product. It is super blendable. It is very easy to work with. It is a powder. It is a palette, because I have the highlighter as well. I do have a mirror, and you already know by now that I am a big fan of palettes that have a good size mirror. Don't forget your hairline, because we do want to tie everything together. A little bit under my jaw. I have a pretty squarish face, I don't need much, but you know, just to make sure that everything is connected, everything is seamless, blended. I'll add a little bit of product here. I'll definitely use a little bit of for contouring my nose, just a little bit. It is a heavier look. It's definitely for a party or going out. It is heavier than most of the looks that I am showing, but I know from time to time we all do want to have this extra oomph in our makeups. We do feel like this cat sexy eye can even boost up your mood. So here's for you. And a little bit under. With whatever is left, I'm gonna apply it on my brow bone. Again, just to tie everything together. I am not a big fan of blushes with the looks like that, but even if I'm using a blush, I try to go for something something more subtle. This is Tarte blush in the color Party. Looks like this. So I'm gonna pop a little bit of that color. I tend to put my blush higher just because my jaw is more squarish and I'd like to lift it up, if that makes sense. And whatever is left on my brush, I'm gonna put a little bit on my temples. Again, because there's not that much product, but we do want to tie everything together. So it is necessary to make sure that we do. For the highlighter, I am going to be using the same palette and this gorgeous highlighter that already is in here. So I am going to be applying it on the top of my cheekbones. A little bit on my temples, brow bone. Cupid bow and the bridge of my nose. If you want to go a little bit extra, you can use the same highlighter and put it right inside the corners of your eye. I am gonna leave it very clean and simple and matte and neutral, exactly the way I like it. We are done with our face. The only thing we need to do, our lips. I am a big fan of nude, mauvey, grayish lip colors. It might be not for everybody. This is Sephora Rouge Gel Lip Liner in the color The Nudist. This is what I'm going to be using today. Again, it's not for everybody. You can go for something more pinkish, something more peachy. Whatever would work best for you. But if you are in the mood for something grayish, this is a definitely good color to have in your collection. So I'm just gonna overline my lips a little bit. bottom of it. I might end up looking a little bit deadly, but I definitely don't mind it. This lip is life. Just blend it with your finger. And it is the finished look. This is exactly how I would wear it. If you feel that you would need a little bit of gloss, definitely use that with a glitter or without, with a little bit of color. Totally up to you. The good thing about this look that it is transformable. I think I am gonna leave it as is. I'm not gonna apply anything extra. I will save it for my later videos. I hope you enjoyed this look. I hope that this has been helpful for you. I would be more than happy if you're gonna give it a go, try it out, like it, take some pictures, and definitely let me know if that worked for you. And until next time, stay healthy, gorgeous, and beautiful, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.